Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of The Power of Surrender with Hugh, where every day we take a card from the Power of Surrender deck by Dr Judith Orloff, and we talk about each of these cards for your inspiration and food for thought in these challenging times we're living in right now. Today's card is Surrender Your Desire to Control People. This is an incredibly powerful card. And to put it most simply, in relationships with family members or friends, sometimes there are times where we wish that they would go along with our version of the world, our perspective on the universe, and in an attempt, we think, to make things easier, we try to control them in some way. And I don't think that everybody does this in a malicious way. We just, we see things a particular way, and we try to control people. And it can be in a slight subtle way. It can be in a very blatantly obvious way. But what this card has to say is very important. We read it to you. It says, being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. So being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. I'll give you the simplest example. I've seen it so many times. People are in a relationship, and as it goes on, one partner gets a little bit jealous of the other's friends or perhaps exes, and if then the person who's not jealous is still in contact with these exes, and the partner who is jealous will start saying things like, I don't want you to talk to any of them anymore, or some variation of that. And there's some aspect of that is, if a person is still super close with their ex, that could be a bit of a problem. But let's just say that it isn't, for the sake of what we're talking about here in the card. In fact, the person telling the other person, I don't want you to have any contact with them, actually makes them want to be in contact with them more. It's a strange law of attraction, the way it works. One aspect of it. So it's very interesting when it talks about sabotaging relationships, because there's an attempt by one person to what they think is improve and protect the relationship by telling their partner not to be contacting any of their exes. But in effect, what they're actually doing by being over controlling is sabotaging. The solution to it is obviously if there's a good level of respect there and communication, you let them know, look, I feel a little bit strange about that, like and again, openly talking about it. And if a person is maybe if I'm spending too much time with this person, it does kind of look bad, whether so I will be respectful. But there's ways of doing it in such a way that where two people can be understanding and figure it out. But if you're telling somebody, I don't want you to do that, I don't want you to see them, unfortunately it's a unintended sabotage. And then it goes on to say, to more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. And this is one of those things, again, where the instinct, the intuition is to, we think it's intuition, the knee-jerk reaction is to take action, to do something. Where sometimes the best thing to do is, as this card says, just step back, just let the situation breathe. And sometimes you'll see that things kind of have a way of working themselves out when you don't do anything at all. They have just a natural way of working themselves out. I remember being in a relationship and telling the person I was in a relationship with, they had a friend for like a long time, and I was encouraging them to spend time with them. Because I knew how important it was. This is a friendship of 25 years or longer, and I knew how important that was, how rare that was. So there was times where I guess I could have said, why are you going hang out with them, and but instead I was like, no, I would actually insist upon it, because I think it's very important. And by taking that perspective and looking at it in a different way, this is not a threat, but this is a positive thing. And you're not going to be with that person all the time, everywhere, always. you know, it's good to have other friendships and to maintain long-term friendships and stuff like that. So there's ways of, you know, of dealing with it if there's, you know, relationships. And it was, well, not one obviously that I was threatened by, but people can be. Now, controlling people is not just, this is, you know, best examples I could probably give you are parents. Parents will do strange things to maintain control over their children, go to all kinds of resorts, and they will tell you that they believe that they're acting in the best interests of their children. And no doubt as a parent I can say there are certainly some times where that is the case. But when it's over controlling, in an attempt to protect, you can sabotage and cause more damage. So this works in terms of a personal relationship, as in a romantic relationship, or a parental relationship, or it can be one friend to another friend. You know, I don't want you hanging out with those people, I don't like your friends, or something like that. You know, there's different variations, and sometimes those friends might be bad, but you see what I'm saying? It's just over controlling that will sabotage, and sometimes the best thing to do is just let go, step back from it, let it breathe, and let it, again, this is one of the wonderful things about the universe. You find sometimes that when you just let things be, they have a way of working themselves out. Very interesting card, definitely food for thought, and hopefully some inspiration for you there. I will be back with another card tomorrow. Boom.